Hello and welcome back. Today we are taking a look at the brand new Transformers Studio Series, Transformers the movie Megatron. So it is finally time that a Megatron has been added to the 86 Transformers movie Studio Series line from Hasbro. And I couldn't be more excited to take a look at this figure. So, as we noted, this is part of Hasbro's Studio Series figures, which, if you're not familiar, are figures which are based on their appearances from their respective Transformers movie. In this case, this is the 86 animated movie. This is the first time we've gotten Megatron based on his appearance in that film, or should we say maybe it's more inspired by, solely because for legal reasons he does not transform into a gun as he did in the original animated series, but rather transforms into a tank, which seems to be the standard alt mode for Megatron these days. Regardless of whether he's a tank or a gun, it's really exciting to have Megatron in this line, and it's great to be adding another Megatron to my collection, as I have very few Megatrons compared to Optimus Primes. But anyway, here we have him in the standard Studio Series packaging that we've come to expect for this past year. We get the window box packaging showing our figure within. We get confirmation that he transforms within 54 steps from robot to alt mode. We get the artwork of Megatron and his alt mode down the side. Transformers Studio Series, Transformers the movie, Megatron. That's our top. The artwork continues around the side, and we get a look or a hint at Autobot City there. This is a leader class figure. On the other side is a profile of Megatron himself. Underneath is our legal and barcode. On the back is a shot as he appeared in the film, a brief bio, and then a product shot of him in robot and alt mode, and a look at his accessories, including a gun mode inspired by his original appearance. So there we have it. Let's get him opened and take a look. Where is that? Will do. There's our instructions. So he comes packaged in that standard cardboard backing for Transformers figures this year. Get him out of the packaging. I absolutely hate these plastic clip ties. I don't know why they can't just use string or something. Accessories come wrapped in the standard Transformers tissue paper. Let's get these torn open. Make sure nothing is solid. So here we have pieces. Let's get this all out of the way. Pick up these pieces here and put those in the trash. And that is that. That can go away. We have our instructions. We have Megatron. He's got some plastic clips around him, so let's get that off. There we go. That can go away. We get his cannon. We get his energy sword, which is done in in a grey plastic with a purple paint, and then a really nice metallic purple pinkish colour for the actual blade itself. That's a really nice looking blade. We get his gun, or his gun mode, as an accessory, which is a nice touch, but I think most fans expected or pretty much demanded that. And then we get the back part of his cannon. And here we have Megatron himself out of his packaging, and he looks fantastic. He looks like he's come straight out of the cartoon or the film there. That is an amazing head sculpt and looks exactly like Megatron, as you would hope. There's some nice red paint there for the eyes and some black touches for the eyebrows. We get his Decepticon logo. We get plenty of molded detail throughout. There's some nice paint apps and touches here. Going down into the legs. The back. You can see some of his tank mode here, but mostly this all looks and packs away really, really nicely to give the effect of how he looked in that movie. I certainly couldn't have asked for more, I don't think. Figure himself has head on a ball joint, so you get some nice range of movement there. The arms have essentially a butterfly clip here, so you can get some movement there. Arms are on a hinge and swivel. We get a small hollow part here, which is a bit of a disappointment, but is to be expected with Transformers figures. Instead of an upper bicep, we get a swivel essentially at the elbow joint, bend at the elbow, and then the hand itself appears to be on a ball joint. Yes, so the hand is on a ball joint. There we go. So you can get some nice range of movement there. I should just close back up. Why is this not closing? Okay, so this part is on a swivel as well, so just make sure that's lined up properly to close that up. Fingers are articulated at the bottom three at both knuckles, which is a nice touch, as is the index finger. So you can get him pointing if you want. So there's some really nice articulation and built-in movement there. That's a really nice touch. Waist swivel is a little looser than I would have liked, but it's not an overall issue. His skirt does lift up at the side so that you can get the legs moving forward, backwards and out. Hinge at the knee and a swivel at the calf. There is ankle tiltage, which is nice, and I don't know if this is going to be for transformation or not, but the foot also tilts. So we've got plenty of movement here for the figure. This piece, I believe, should just go onto the back. I'm going to look at the instructions just to make sure we get everything as they're expecting, so we can take a look properly. So we get some pretty big instructions. So it does look like everything's designed to essentially fit onto him as we may want. So his cannon can fit on to his arm here. So we've got that. Then this piece will, it has a hinge here, so you can clip that and you can plug that into here if you want. His sword will also plug into his back, as will his own gun, like that. So you can get a full range of storage there, which is absolutely fantastic. He can, oh, nice tight grip on the sword if you want, and he can even, can he hold himself? Well, that sounded wrong. And he can even get a grip on his own alt mode like that. So you've got a nice range of abilities for posing and options, which is fantastic. So let's get down to transformation and see how he looks in his alt mode. So I'm going to bring this round here so I can get the instructions in properly. We can take a proper look at how he's going to transform. So the instructions have you removing these two bits, arms down at his side, then initially, as we saw while playing with the figure, these side panels open up on both arms. Again, I don't know if it's going to be for transformation or not, but I've just found that these panels actually slide round to the back if you want them to, which is nice. These open up the arms, or hands, sorry, fold inside. You just got to make sure those fingers are tucked away, so that index finger needs to tuck behind the thumb. And then the hands will tuck away like so. And then with looks like these should twist around and clasp up like so. Same this side, clasps up like so, and then these arms will come forward at the butterfly clips and should then unclip. Oh, it's a bit tough. You can see there's a tag tip there. They need to pull out like so. Oh, there we go. Like that. Then the back should lift up like so, and this will then fold over like that. We can bring Megatron back around, and his stomach will drop down supposedly. I can see the hinge. Oh, okay, this is a tough one, and you might need something to get underneath. There it is. Oh, you just need something to get underneath. It's quite a tough one. But that does fold down like that. There's even some molded detail in there, which is nice. Then the chest will fold down as well, and the head will rotate and tuck under, so we get that hidden away. We can drop this part of the chest forward, bringing this then up, and the underneath here will also drop. There we go, that drops. That drops, that drops. Okay, legs will twist around 180. The side panels do fold out and back as we suspected. Then these legs will come forward. You're probably going to want to lift these flaps up as these come forward, and then these pegs peg into here. So just get those nice and straight. We get those up like that. Then this piece here does unclip. It keeps unclipping on itself, but you can push it in, and you just need to lift it up like so. There appears to be some wheel underneath, and that folds like so, with something clipping into something. What's clipping into where? As we bring this back, so there should be, okay, so there's this peg here, and that needs to plug into that. So again, it's just trying to get this lined up correctly and push it in. What you need to be mindful of is you can end up sort of almost over moving this, which you don't want to do. You want to keep this nice and straight and drop it down until it clips in, and then that forms a nice tight bond. The arms rotate, and then it should flip forward and flip forward. And they will flip up, and you want them coming up at this bottom hinge, not the middle one. Coming up on both sides, and then down on that second hinge, like so. Flipping this over, the okay, so you then need to bring this in at the bottom hinge like so. And again, and the idea is that the tabs on each side will lock in together like that. There we go. Now the feet will fold up and they will lift up again here and here. Legs will bend out at the hinge here, and then these tabs will drop, and then this will fold out and out and then out again. And then the inside treads will open up and these bottom tabs will fold out. Okay. And then these will snap back into place. And we are going to be doing something similar with these. And fold out the tip and snap those back into place. Same this side. 1, 2, and clip that back in. Then the bottom will fold up and clip in the middle. There are some really nice and interesting transformation options here, or points in this. I really like how they folded the treads up into the legs so you don't see it all, but they unfold really nicely. Then the legs come round and these pegs will clip in here. It's a complex but oddly simple and satisfying transformation. Everything feels intuitive to what you're doing. Then these legs fold down. No. Okay, they come in at the hinges here at the knees. Then looks like they want to slide up underneath the legs here. Everything's unclipping, that's fine. Get everything sorted in a minute. Those clip in like that. Feet are then feet fold down like that, lift up like so, and there are tabs either side. Just get those in nice and tight, and then these toes will bend and clasp down like so. This isn't quite as clipped together as it should be. Why is that? Okay. That should clip in there. Then So what I found is that what needs to happen is his chest panel needs to come forward a little. Then the peg here will plug in here. This peg will go in here, and this will then essentially rest underneath the chest panel, like so. Like so. Something's unclasped. What's come off? Where? Then the chest panel just comes and rests underneath that part there. So you've got it sticking out like so. The only thing is something's come unclipped. I'm not quite sure where from. Anyone who knows where this has come from, speak up now. Okay, so part of him has come off, but unless I'm completely blind, I'm not seeing where it went. Okay, so for the sake of finishing this video, I'm going to leave that to one side, and no doubt we will quickly figure out where that belongs as we transform him back. So I will say this final bit of just getting those tank treads clipped together is a little bit fiddly, but it's not the worst. Moving that to one side, we then have the arms. He wants the arms to move like so, so these panels are facing up. Take our cannon, drop this part down on a hinge, and this will clasp up like that. Then this wants you to bring this over. You can open the arms for this. It will clasp over the back panel here. Then there are tabs either side which will clip into the cannon. And there we have Megatron in his tank mode. You can then attach the gun barrel piece if you wish to extend the cannon. Storage for the weapons is here, and the gun goes there. So that is Megatron in our tank mode. Let's put the instructions to one side and bring this back. So here we have him in his tank mode, and it looks like a really, really good tank mode. For once, we have a tank mode where the head isn't visible, which is absolutely fantastic. So many Megatrons have the head visible in their tank mode, and it looks awful, absolutely awful. If you're familiar with the original War for, or the previous War for Cybertron Megatron, it had something similar here with the panel, and you just had the head underneath, and it didn't work at all. It rolls nicely. The cannon can swivel and tilt up if you wish, so you can get some range of movement there. You can get that tucked in. Overall, I really like him. It looks like a Earth tank as well. I'm not familiar with military crafts, but it certainly does look like a tank you would expect to see on the battlefields. Overall, I don't think I could have asked for anything more really on this figure, especially at his price point. It's a great figure. He has some really nice accessories. The paint apps on it look fantastic. Transformation it feels complex, and it has some interesting steps to it, but at no point is it confusing or unclear. Everything is very intuitive and moves nicely. Obviously, we had that part come off. I think that was my fault because obviously, first time transforming it, things weren't lining quite as well as I was expecting. That was definitely more on me and not being familiar with the transformation rather than the instructions or the figure itself. Transforming him back should be simple enough as reversing our steps. So we can bring our arms out like that. We can unclip these parts here. And that's where that bit has come from. So we will sort that out as we come back to finishing this off. So unclip the bottom half. Bring that back. And does that one go there or... No. I think that one is supposed to go there. And that piece goes there. So they come down, then this piece will unclasp here. Come on. That unclasps there, that folds back. Same this side. Oh. So some of the connection points are quite tough. You just need to, come on. There it is. To faff with them a bit just to get them sorted. Then these fold up like so. That clips back there. That can then fold down. No, that's it. There we go. That folds down. That folds up. That goes there. That gets 1 foot. Fold that out. Fold that round. Clip that up. Fold that down. Clasp that down. We can then bring him back up, bring him round, bring those out. There we go. Lift this panel up. Knock that back, drop that forward, bring his head up, bring that up, bring him down, lock those into place, bring this back round, bring his arms down like where is he going? Come on. That should just fall in like so. Come on. Yeah, there we go. So you want those black parts facing downwards. That was my fault. Then these come in and clip nicely like so. We clip in like that. Nice firm clip. Then undo the arms, twist that around, pull out the hand, twist that back, clip that in. Same this side. Unclasp that, fold that down, rotate, flip, and clip that back. And there we have Megatron back in his robot mode. And again, as I said, I absolutely love this figure. I couldn't have asked for a better figure. I think he looks pretty much exact as he appeared in that 86 film. He is a great addition to the collection. I am so glad to finally have him. I missed out on the original release of the 86 Optimus Prime, and I am waiting for the re-release. So I'm really looking forward to that, getting that in the next month or so, hopefully, and being able to compare the two together. Otherwise, this was a great purchase. I'm really happy with this. If you are a fan of Transformers in any kind, I don't think you could go wrong with purchasing this figure. So there we have him. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, stay safe. And remember, freedom is a right, not a privilege.